It follows. A 2014 horror film directed by David Robert Mitchell presents a chilling narrative centered around a sexually transmitted curse. The film follows Jay Height, whose life takes a terrifying turn after a sexual encounter. She is pursued by a malevolent entity that can take any human form. The only way to escape is to pass the curse on through another sexual encounter. The film explores themes of sexual anxiety, paranoia, and inescapable consequences. The film opens with a disturbing scene featuring a young woman named Annie. She is shown fleeing her home in terror, seemingly from an unseen pursuer. Her erratic behavior and palpable fear immediately establish a sense of unease. The scene culminates in her gruesome demise on a beach, setting a chilling precedent for the horrors to come. Annie's desperate attempts to escape foreshadow Jay's own struggle against the entity. Her fate serves as a stark warning of the curse's deadly consequences. This opening sequence effectively establishes the film's tone of unrelenting dread and impending doom. It also introduces the audience to the entity's relentless pursuit and the terrifying reality of the curse. The ambiguity surrounding the entity's nature in this initial scene adds to the horror. The audience is left wondering what exactly Annie is running from, heightening the sense of mystery and fear. This sense of the unknown is a key element of the film's psychological terror. Before the curse, Jay Height is a typical young woman. She enjoys spending time with friends and engaging in suburban life. This normalcy emphasizes the drastic shift once the curse hits. The contrast highlights the disruptive power of the entity. Jay's innocence makes her ordeal more disturbing. She transforms from carefree to hunted and paranoid. This underscores the curse's insidious nature. The curse is passed to Jay during a seemingly consensual sexual encounter with a young man named Hugh. This act of intimacy becomes a conduit for the terrifying entity, forever altering Jay's life. The juxtaposition of sex and horror adds a layer of unease to the narrative, exploring the anxieties associated with intimacy. Hugh's explanation of the curse reveals its chilling mechanics. He explains that the entity will take on various human forms and relentlessly pursue Jay until she passes it on to someone else. This explanation sets the stage for the constant paranoia and fear that will dominate Jay's existence. The rules of the curse establish a sense of inescapable dread. The act of passing the curse through sex introduces a metaphorical dimension to the film. It can be interpreted as a commentary on sexually transmitted diseases and the anxieties surrounding sexual responsibility. This metaphorical layer adds depth to the narrative, making it more than just a simple horror story. Jay's first encounter with the entity is a pivotal moment in the film. She sees a naked woman slowly walking towards her across her lawn, an image that immediately establishes the entity's unsettling nature. This encounter marks the beginning of Jay's constant fear and paranoia. She is now perpetually looking over her shoulder, anticipating the entity's next appearance. The entity's ability to take on different human forms adds to the psychological terror. It creates a sense of uncertainty and distrust, as Jay can never be sure who is real and who is the entity. This element of unpredictability keeps the audience on edge, constantly anticipating the next terrifying manifestation. The slow, deliberate movements of the entity amplify the sense of dread. The lack of overt aggression creates a more insidious form of horror, playing on psychological fear rather than jump scares. This slow burn approach allows the tension to build gradually, maximizing the impact of each encounter. As Jay's fear escalates, she turns to her close friends for support. They become her protectors, helping her to identify and evade the entity. Their presence offers a semblance of hope and camaraderie in the face of unrelenting terror. Their willingness to believe and help Jay underscores the importance of human connection in times of crisis. The group's dynamic shifts as they become increasingly involved in Jay's ordeal. They experience fear and anxiety alongside her, further solidifying the sense of shared danger. This shared experience strengthens their bond and reinforces the theme of friendship and loyalty. The friends' attempts to help Jay demonstrate their resourcefulness and courage. They devise strategies to protect her, showcasing their determination to fight against the seemingly inescapable curse. Despite their best efforts, the friends are constantly reminded of the entity's power and persistence. In a desperate attempt to escape the entity, Jay and her friends devise a plan to lure it to a secluded beach house. They hope that the isolation will provide them with an advantage and allow them to confront the entity more effectively. This plan demonstrates their resourcefulness and their willingness to take risks to protect Jay. The beach house setting creates a sense of both isolation and vulnerability. While it offers a temporary respite from the entity's pursuit, it also exposes the group to potential danger. The remote location emphasizes their precarious situation and the limited options available to them. The group's preparations at the beach house, including setting up traps and weapons, highlight their determination to fight back against the curse. Despite their careful planning, the entity's ability to take any human form undermines their strategy. The film's climax takes place at a public swimming pool where Jay and her friends attempt to electrocute the entity. This scene is filled with tension and suspense as they execute their plan, hoping to finally rid themselves of the curse. The public setting adds another layer of complexity, as they must navigate the presence of unsuspecting bystanders while carrying out their plan. The chaotic nature of the pool environment further intensifies the sense of danger. The crowds of people create confusion and make it more difficult for Jay to track the entity's movements. This chaotic atmosphere adds to the suspense and makes the confrontation even more unpredictable. The moment when Jay believes she has successfully killed the entity is a brief respite from the constant fear. However, the ambiguity of the situation leaves the audience questioning whether the entity has truly been defeated. This uncertainty adds to the film's unsettling nature and leaves a lingering sense of unease. The film's ending is deliberately ambiguous, leaving the audience to interpret the events and ponder Jay's fate. After the confrontation at the pool, Jay and Paul walk hand in hand, seemingly at peace. However, the presence of a shadowy figure in the background suggests that the entity may still be present. This ambiguity creates a sense of lingering unease and prevents any sense of true resolution. The lack of a definitive conclusion adds to the film's psychological impact. It forces the audience to confront the same uncertainties and anxieties that plague Jay. This open-endedness allows the film's themes to resonate long after the credits roll. The final shot of Jay and Paul walking together can be interpreted in various ways. It could represent a fragile sense of hope, a temporary reprieve from the curse, or a resignation to their fate. This ambiguity allows for individual interpretation and encourages discussion about the film's deeper meanings. It Follows stands out as a modern horror masterpiece due to its unique blend of psychological terror and metaphorical storytelling. The film's slow-burn approach and reliance on suspense create a truly unsettling experience. The exploration of sexual anxiety and metaphorical representation of STDs add depth. The entity's ability to take any human form is a key element of the film's psychological terror. Its slow, relentless pursuit amplifies the sense of dread, creating a haunting experience. It Follows offers a fresh and unsettling take on the horror genre.